Attending this year's edition of the Newtown Now Festival, and we say hello to her once again. Well, Thabile, I would love to believe that you're having fun over there. What's happening?
Thank you very much, Simphiwe. Well, the morning started quite cold, but I will tell you that it's warming up a little bit. I've also had my cup of coffee, so I think I'm in a better mood now. We are about to wrap up this part of our broadcast here at Mary Fitzgerald Square in Newtown. As I mentioned earlier on, it's the Now Festival today, but more than that, we're also celebrating the refurbishment of those wooden artifacts. A little bit earlier on in the morning, I spoke to a representative from the Johannesburg Development Agency, but I also spoke to the artists and the people behind this whole process. Now, joining me now, I've got two more guests that have also played an integral role in making this day happen. I'm now joined by Justine Watterson as well as Sfiso Sunja, and they're part of the Mbali Visual Literacy Project. Let's now talk to them for their roles and responsibility in this project. Thank you so much for joining us on Morning Live.
Pleasure. It's a pleasure to be here.
Justine, I'd like to start with you. Take us through what the Mbali Literacy Project does.
So, Mbali Visual Literacy Project is a crafts training and arts education organisation based in Newtown. We turned 30 this year. We've been in Newtown since 2000, so we've had a long presence in this space. We train over a 3-year period young people in a range of crafts and design skills as well as business and entrepreneur skills. At the end of the 3 years, then the students can leave us and start their own small enterprises as fashion designers, as screen printers, as full-time artists.
So now you're a 3rd year at the Mbali Visual Literacy Project. Justine has just taken us through some of the work that they do with you as students. Take us through, what you're learning, at the project, but most importantly, your role today.
Mbali Visual Literacy offers a lot of different techniques, so I've learned a lot. For example, we do screen printing and we do weaving, we do some embroidery, we do some sewing, but I myself chose to focus on screen printing and tie-dye. So the sewing part, I've learned how to sew there, so I'm starting to embark on sewing. But besides that, that's what we do. We do sewing, embroidery, and then I chose to focus on the printing side and the dye side.
Okay, so you're in your 3rd year, so you've come a long way in this process, and it's impressive to hear some of the programs that you've been a part of. Justine, in terms of today and the refurbishment of these wooden artifacts that we've been looking at, what role has the Mbali Visual Literacy Project played?
Okay, well, Mbali is thrilled to have played such an integral role to this Newtown Now Festival and the refurbishment of the heads. We've done a range of things in Mary Fitzgerald Square and the surrounding area of Newtown. We have painted the stairs up to Museum Africa, which you see behind us. We have put up 52 flags hanging from all the light posts around Mary Fitzgerald Square, hand-dyed fabric in the sort of rainbow spectrum of colours. We've wrapped about 25 trees around the square and in the Newtown Park with brightly coloured fabric. We've made a range of textile banners printed with the historic buildings of Newtown and the people of Newtown. So those are up there, fabric banners. We have also, what did we do? Yeah, the flags, and the bunting on the light poles. So we've brought in a range of bright colours into the public space of Mary Fitzgerald Square and surrounding Newtown in the hope to generate interest in this part of town and an appreciation for the surrounding environment, because we feel strongly that by making the environment beautiful and eye-catching and interesting, people will respect the space more and be less inclined to litter and more inclined to look around and appreciate the beauty.
Look, it's definitely eye-catching, and I love you've played such a huge role here, and it's so easy for you to actually look around and point at some of the work you've done, which is very impressive. Just finally to you, Sfiso, we were looking now just behind us there at that beautiful, beautiful staircase that's been painted. Tell us about that.
So we chose to use the rainbow colors, also based on the color wheel and color theory, because they kind of stimulate the mind in a sense whereby it makes you vibrant and happy, and we'd like to keep people in that state. And when you're vibrant and happy, in my opinion, I think cleanliness is something that goes along with it, you know. And the prints. I have to mention the prints because it might not be very visible from here, but there's actually prints on those staircases. What we did is we chose different elements within Newtown, and then we created some stencil prints of these elements, and then we printed them on each staircase. So when one passes here and they are much closer to those staircases, then they can actually appreciate those prints even more.
All right, thank you very much. Now, just in closing, Justine, going forward, we've seen these refurbishments, we've seen some of the other work that you've done here in the precinct specifically. What are you hoping to achieve going forward?
Well, having been in Newtown for the past 18 years, we're hoping to raise the profile of Mbali. Although our students know us and our neighbours in Newtown know us, to sort of get a broader recognition and to become more visible generally in this precinct and in the city of Johannesburg. And yeah, I think this is one of the steps that we're taking, just to get out there more, and so more people know about us, so we can attract more attention. We've got a wonderful shop inside the Museum Africa, which is just behind me, where we sell all the things that are made by our students, the hand-printed fabrics, the screen-printed T-shirts, the weaving, the cushions, the aprons, everything we make is sold in the shop. So also to raise the profile of Mbali generally around Johannesburg.
Justine, thank you so much. Fiso, thank you so much. And I'm sure the profile has definitely been raised now. Thank you so much for joining us on Morning Love.
Thank you.
Well, there you have it. We are at Mary Fitzgerald Square in Newtown, Johannesburg, and we've been talking to a whole host of guests throughout the morning. I was now joined by Justine Watterson as well as Sfiso Sunja, and they are from the Mbali Visual Literacy Project. They were taking us through some of the amazing work that they've been doing. If you look behind me right now, there's a staircase there, very colorful, right in front of the Museum Africa that they were a part of. But most importantly, they have been a part of the refurbishment and renovation of the artifacts, and that's what we're celebrating today. Don't forget that today is also the Now Festival taking place right here in Newtown. So if you are in and around the city, make sure that you make your way to Newtown to enjoy the scenery. There will be walkthroughs, as Sue mentioned earlier on, from the Johannesburg Development Agency, telling us there'll be walkabouts, making sure that they introduce people of the city to Mary Fitzgerald Square. From myself and the rest of the team, it's goodbye. Back to you in studio.
Well, Thabile.